Hi there, I'm Carol Ritchie. I'm here at Abbotts Magic in Colon, Michigan, the magic capital of the world. And they have a red door, which is perfect for American Heart Month. I'm here to interview Greg Bordner, the owner of Abbotts, about his journey with heart health and heart transplant.
Magic capital of the world, Greg Bordner. Glad to meet you. Let's even do a magic trick. If you're going to talk about it, do it. Anyway, you too can own magic, just buy it. Anyway, those are the usual videos that I do, but a heart transplant. Hoo-ha. 17 years ago. I'm working on 17 years out since the transplant. That's quite the feat, actually, of getting that far. Many doctors and people are very impressed by the fact that I've made it this far. Actually, my surgeon only gave me, he wouldn't give me 15 years with a new heart. And I'm like, well, I can beat that. I know I can, and I have, but I'm not ready to die. So I keep struggling every day, just like everybody else in the world. It's a cold, cruel world, and you got to do stuff, you know, watch your weight, watch your food. I have to take anti-rejection drugs every 12 hours, and if you screw it up enough, you can die from that. So wake up and take the meds. Better living through chemistry. You know, there's just things you have to do. Anyway, so it's a happy day. I'm really glad to do this little video. I don't do videos a lot, but I'm selling magic tricks like you saw earlier.
First off, you know, Colon is your home. You have a wonderful family, and you have a wonderful extended family all over the world. Tell me a little bit about your heart journey, kind of how you noticed, and then how your family, and then the small changes that have led to where you are today.
I don't know about small changes. You just have to use your head, use your brain, think. But yeah, my dad had heart problems. My grandfather had heart problems. And I had an uncle who passed when he was 48 years old, and he was healthy. He had played football, you know, back in the professional, and not necessarily in the league back then, because that would have been like in the 30s. Anyway, and my dad was very healthy. He would like box and strong and worked all the time. Worked, and built this company up that sells magic tricks. Anyway, then he had heart issues that kept him out of the war, and the big one, World War II. And so anyway, they all helped. You know, you've got your DNA involved in this. You have the fact that we have financial backing a little bit, you know, from my grandfather had a farm. It was farms on both sides. And, you know, the work ethic is important.
Midwest work ethic.
Yes. Well, it doesn't have to be anywhere. It can be in Ethiopia. If you got to get up and work, you got to get up and work. Yeah. Anyway.
So that's really probably kept you going, that family.
Sun's up, buns up. You know, you just got to keep going. You know, open the curtains in the hospital and let the sun in. It's daytime, you know, and try to stay on as best a schedule as you can. So yes, the journey of the heart attacks. I mean, I had, you know, the bypass surgery, the congestive heart failure, the whole gamut of issues. Yeah. Finally, it was down to either you get the transplant or you're going to die. So yeah, I'm on board. What do I have to do? Well, it's like a series of ladders. First, you have to make the first step on the first rung, and then you build yourself up, and then they pull the ladder out from under you, and you're on a new ladder at the bottom, and you start again. You go, okay, well, I didn't want to do it that way. I didn't think it happened that way, but we'll keep working. You have to adapt because they change all the rules. And you're, okay, so you're intubated. I had, oh gosh, where are the VADs? Ventricular assist devices. I had 2 of those. So I was, oh boy, intubated. They sounded like drums going off every day, all day. One was like an Irish band drum and the other little snare, and the other one was like a big bass drum, boom, 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 going in the room. And you just, it's another day, another drum solo, and it goes on all day. And so it's a little bit like the Chinese water torture, but you just say, this is what it is, and on you go. So what do I have to do to get to the next step on the ladder? And you just keep climbing and just keep hanging on.
Yeah.
Some days you feel like you're not gonna make it, and reward yourself any way you can. Yeah. A nurse
we can take a break too if you want.
Gave me a Hershey bar. Actually, she gave me two. One I ate immediately, and the next one I thought, well, I could eat that immediately and they'd be gone, or I could use it as a reward. And I said, okay. So I had a piece the next day, just one little square of a regular old Hershey bar, thin one, nothing fancy, to reward myself for getting through the day. I thought, well, I wonder how long I can make that Hershey bar last. So I thought, well, if I have a good week, I will have a square on Saturday night. I will keep track of the days so I know what day it is, and I can reward myself on Saturday night. Yeah. If I can get to my Hershey bar over there in my little bag, and reward myself for being a good person, still being alive if I need it. And so I made that Hershey bar last for months.
That's really
I sometimes forgot about it because of other things going on. You get busy in there, doing all their things. But every once in a while I would go, it was a horrible day. I'm going to have a piece of that Hershey bar and just reward myself for making it through there.
Yes.
They would do tests and do things. They put a chest tube into me to blow air into me, and it made me sound like a whistle. and it's like the wind coming out of me. It was just crazy. And then when they went to pull it out, the nurse didn't know it had a corkscrew, and she tried to pull it straight out. I'm like, whoa, yeah. So that was fun. And she apologized, but she was a nice person. She meant me no harm, but it was not what she expected or I. So these things happen every day. You're in the hospital, stuff happens. Yeah. But, try to set goals for yourself, like getting to the chair. There were times I couldn't get out of bed with all these tubes in me. So just getting to the chair was a big deal. And then being able to walk was a big deal. Even getting to get out of bed just to stand took like 4 people, so that there was no way I could fall face forward. They had me completely surrounded, so the only way was backwards, back onto the bed. And also then, you get out of the bed and stand, then you get to the chair, then you get to walk. And that was like a convoy when I had the VADS. It was like a parade. Because they had these big things, and they were on wheels, and we'd go out into the hallway. Let me rephrase that. When I could get to the hallway, it was like I started to count the tiles in the floor and how far I could walk. Every little step meant something.
A victory. One little victory.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it's emotional to think back on it. I try not to very often, but it is. It's great to be alive. Now I don't walk enough. I've got the little thing on my phone, and if I don't do 3,000 steps, I don't get my Hershey bar. So I still use that, although I do usually cheat and eat chocolate every day. But anyway, yeah, why not?
It's dark chocolate.
Nobody's looking that close. Sometimes it has nuts in it, whatever. Anyway, but yes, you got to walk every day. You've got to drink water every day. You got to take your drugs on time-ish, but make sure that you take them every day. There's just things you have to do. It's not that hard. Use your head, think, and away you go. And it's another day.
Wow. You know what I notice about you, and it might be the magic, but your attitude about it and your approach to it is humorous. It's positive. Sure, it's
Think
emotional.
Good thoughts.
Yeah.
The Lord's Prayer. I say that in the shower. You can say it when you're driving. It's amazing how just a little faith goes a long, long way.
And I know that here in this community, your faith, has definitely supported you in great ways.
Well, I'm a member, or used to be a member, of the Methodist Church. I screw things up methodically. I'm a Methodist. I say that a lot. But anyway.
So faith has helped you through this
definitely.
journey.
And it helped my doctor, my surgeon. I remember he told my wife, he said, well, it's in the Lord's hands now. It was like he did all he could do. And good luck.
Yes. Well, and I've seen personally some miracles from my own loved ones and family, and I feel that I've seen that in you as well, and I think it's a lot to do with your positive spirit.
Well, thank you.
And magic and miracles.
Well, we try. You have to try.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's no fun. Let's have some fun.
That's right. And there's been so many advancements in heart disease, and I'm sure you have seen so much, and there's probably things now that they couldn't help you with back then.
Oh, well, like the VADs. Dick Cheney, I don't want to bring politics into this, but he had a heart transplant, and he had VADs, and he carried his in his head, this little purse, and was walking around, and I'm like, holy cow. I was like, of course, it was a number of years after mine. And so, yes, just that alone, and by now it's even probably smaller. Could be the size of a phone. For all I know, I haven't really kept up on it, but I do know everything gets smaller, faster, and better. But there are the problems. There are thousands of people that need a new heart, and there's only hundreds available. You just have to do what you can do. It's
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have just a little story. I have a friend who was there for me when my husband had his heart attack up here in Michigan. I was in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
And her husband picked me up to take me to the airport. I was coming to Michigan anyway. Mm-hmm. And she also had a heart transplant. Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah, my husband got 2 stents. She's like, I've got 17.
Yeah.
So,
when you're depressed and you're living in the hospital and you think, oh my, woe is me. 2 doors down in either direction, somebody else has it worse off than you. And it's much, much better to be able to get up and walk and make something of your life. It's much better than going out in a wheelchair or with a toe tag, going vertical. Those are your options. Just think about it and do what you can do. Oh, we're talking about depression. I'm on. Okay. Probably one of the worst times in the hospital. I was up for a transplant. I'd gotten up the ladder, enough steps, and they said, you're viable. We're ready to go, and there's going to be one available. We can tell it's coming. They've gotten some forewarning, and I've heard this before. And then they said, oh, you missed it. It went to a guy at Northwestern on the other side of Chicago. I said, well, okay. How long did he wait? Well, he waited over a year in the condition like you're in now. And I thought, oh, I can't live like this. I'm not going to live another year. I can't go through another Christmas, another 4th of July, and then a Halloween before I get this heart. I said, this is just more than I can bear. I should be happy that I came in second, but this was crushing. And it was like, oh, wow, life isn't worth living. And slowly, it said, well, you run the race as best you can. You've gotten as far as you can. We'll keep after it. And it wasn't much longer. That was in July, and I had a new heart and was home by Halloween. So there you go. You just never know. Yeah. You just keep working one day at a time, and it comes around. Just hope for the best, expect the worst, but hope for the best and keep on trucking.
and I know your family has been such a source of support.
Oh, I have to thank my wife. I mean, she's saved my life so many levels, so many times.
Good team.
Yeah, well, yes.
Teamwork. Yeah.
Yes, so it does certainly help, and it does make a difference if you have some kind of support, yes.
Absolutely. And I bet now some of the things you really enjoy are seeing your grandchildren.
Oh, yes, they weren't there. Because, yeah, the youngest one is 4, and then there's one at 10, one at 17, and one at 20. So, yeah, it was 17 years ago that I'm working on. So 3 of them weren't even on the earth.
So really now connecting with them is really inspirational to you and helping you with your daily.
Yes, I would not have been here.
Oh, that's great. That's
yes.
amazing. Oh gosh, what are some of your favorite things that you love to eat? I know you're
Besides
doing
chocolate.
Chocolate, yeah. Besides chocolate, I really think that's pretty cool though that you love chocolate.
Well, you know, but you use it as a reward.
Right.
Oh,
right.
I love all food. You know, variety is great. Anything will do.
Yes.
You know, but you have to think. You know,
Vegetables,
grease.
fruits.
So, well, of course. I mean, I bring celery and carrots and onions and radishes.
Yes.
You know, for my snacks.
Yeah.
And I don't do drive-throughs if I can help it. Now, once this week I went through McDonald's and got a cheeseburger. Okay, just a regular, that's nothing fancy.
Yep.
So once in a while you can reward yourself.
Yes.
But there's no I know people, they eat there every day. If it's not one fast food, it's another. Well, duh. It's gonna come back and bite you. So you just think, use your head.
Yes.
You know, and what you like, what you enjoy. You know, some people, my wife gives me heck. Why are you eating radishes? Nobody eats radishes. Well, they're good for you, and I like them. You know, it's not like, and there's no run on them. They're always available, and they're great here in Michigan. That's the only thing we can grow up north. So, yeah, radishes, celery, carrots, and you know, you can use a little ranch dressing, little oil, a little vinegar. You know, spice it up. You know, and cream cheese goes with everything, but in moderation.
Yes.
Just use your head.
And I've seen you, probably one of our favorite things to do, and I've seen you many times at the church for the soup supper.
Oh, yes.
Oh, man.
Oh, yes.
That's amazing. That's great stuff.
The Methodist Church here, yes.
They do a great job with that.
Oh, yes,
Food-wise,
they do.
so.
It's you never know. I mean, I go to the American Legion Fish Fry here in town. Yeah,
It's a treat.
Well, it's convenient.
Yes.
You know, yes, it can still do convenient, but
Yes.
if you're doing things the right way and thinking about them and what you're eating, a doctor told me that he had a patient that wouldn't eat anything that came from a factory. And I thought, well, now how would you do that? I mean, there's apples, you know, but you can buy those in a bag that have been packaged in a factory. I don't know. It would be hard to find enough food to eat.
Oh yeah. You know, most people, I have a hard time thinking about retirement because I love what I do. And I don't see that happening with you either, because clearly this world you're in, the magic world, is so inspiring. How has this helped you in your heart journey? Being part of the magic world and people that love you all over the world.
Wow. Well,
That's heavy, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I was on prayer chains all over the world through magic, through those connections, because people knew me everywhere and would pray for me. And there's nothing stronger than knowing there are people out there that care. That does make a difference. But now it comes back on me. I have to care about them. And that ain't easy. But it is. It really is. You have to just think now, what would I do in this situation? How can I help whenever you can?
Yes.
And owning a business makes a world of difference. You know, I didn't have to work for anybody. Being self-employed is wonderful. It really is. I didn't have to explain that I can't work this day or that day. It's on me. You just do what you can, and you have other people cover for you. A lot. A lot.
And I will say, give you kudos. During the dead of winter, you are here. During the ice storms, you are here. During the heat of the summertime, you are here.
Well, I go to Florida in March.
Oh, that's
knock the corner off of that. But yeah.
It's well worth it, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Just to be able to go outside and breathe. Sometimes it gets so cold up here, it literally takes your breath away.
Oh, yes, it sure does.
And especially when I had the congestive heart failure, it was brutal. Sometimes you'd have to have a scarf, you know, and you just have to put so many layers on. It was just easier to stay home.
Oh, yeah.
So there is that as well.
You're amazing. You really are inspiring.
Thank you.
And